What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Monday. We are just one day away from Election Day. So to those of you that have not voted, please go out and vote. Your vote counts and your vote is very important. But anywho, we have a lot of good topics to talk about, so now let's get to it. Now let's talk about Gisele Bündchen. So Gisele Bündchen is done hiding from the world as her third pregnancy progresses, stepping out for a sweet lunch date with her baby daddy, Joaquin Valente, and kids Benjamin and Vivian. So anyways, the supermodel hit Miami for a bite to eat with her modern family, who were all smiles as they made their way into the local restaurant. So for the weekend outing, Gisele opted for a more casual look, including a white flowy top gray joggers, a baseball cap, and flip-flops. Now it's clear the runway legend didn't plan on being snapped while out and about with her brood, though she was still glowing even in her dressed down appearance. So despite her growing baby bump, Gisele is keeping herself active, catching a Pilates class in Miami early Monday morning. The model wore a gray sweatshirt, black leggings, and a matching cap as she swung by the workout class with her baby belly on full display at one point. Okay, so anyways, word of Gisele's pregnancy broke last week, with TMZ sources noting Tom Brady's ex was about halfway through her pregnancy, and TMZ was told she and Joaquin, who have been dating since June last year, are waiting until birth to find out the sex of their little one. Okay, so this is pretty insane what I'm hearing here, because I remember that just last year, I believe, this girl, Gisele Bündchen, was filing for divorce from this dude, Tom Brady, and it was all sadness for the poor girl, and she was having a hard time processing the whole entire divorce. And then all of a sudden, Gisele Bündchen is now dating this guy, who, by the way, seems like a really good guy, by the way. And I believe this guy, Joaquin, is the same guy that we spotted her with last year, shortly after she filed for divorce, or finalized a divorce with Tom Brady. And we were all like, oh my God, well, I'm pretty sure that she is dating this Joaquin guy because they seem romantically linked together and this and that. And now, all of a sudden, we are finding out that she is pregnant with her third child, but her first child with this Joaquin guy. And what's even more interesting, by the way, is that we were very good at analyzing that the both of them were actually very linked up together in a romantic way. We definitely were not dumb enough into thinking that they were just friends. So anyways, I believe that things are really interesting though in between these two, because I believe that Gisele Bündchen really is moving on from this marriage that she had with Tom Brady after all, which I think is amazing, because usually you have a really hard time moving on from a marriage, especially when you are divorcing somebody. And it's a really good thing, by the way, that she's moving on, because Gisele needs to move on after all. She can't stay in the same bubble her whole entire life, you know? But I kind of believe, though, that the fact that she is expecting a baby with this guy is a bit too soon, because I mean, they've only been dating since last year and now they're all of a sudden expecting a baby. I feel like they should have known each other even more, and they should have, you know, had some more waiting time before having a baby, in my personal opinion, you know, because I believe that having a baby is just not only a huge responsibility, but also, God forbid, that things don't turn out to be well in between Joaquin and Gisele Bündchen, that then later on, there goes the custody issues, there goes the issues with this and that. So anyways, but congratulations to Gisele Bündchen on expecting her first child with Joaquin. I wish her nothing but the best. Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about P. Diddy. So Diddy's freak off NDA has been revealed. So Diddy's parties for the rich and famous have long been shrouded in mystery, but now TMZ can show why, because TMZ has obtained a standard NDA Combs as party attendees to sign. Now the document, a pretty standard non-disclosure agreement, prevents signees from sharing information related to Diddy, his family members, current or former partner, spouses, friends of business, associates. Okay, so the NDA tells signees not to photograph, film, or record, or have another person photograph, film, or record Diddy or anyone in his orbit without his written consent, and specifically names social media sites where attendees can't post photos Diddy doesn't sign off on. So attendees are not to give interviews, write books, or otherwise disseminate information about Diddy or the parties without prior written consent. Alright, so quite frankly, it's a pretty boilerplate NDA and you can read it all for yourself, but the basic gist is that anyone attending these parties needs Diddy's written consent to share any info. This is really stupid and this is really crazy what I'm hearing here, but this just comes to show that P. Diddy really threatened a bunch of these guests, or all of these guests, to not share information on what went on in these parties because P. Diddy didn't want to get exposed for being the bad guy, for, giving out drugs and, harming people that were attending these parties, because P. Diddy wanted to make himself look like the good guy this whole entire time, when in reality, he was not the good guy after all. But I personally believe, though, since Beyonce and Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure, were also in these parties, they should have said something, because even though they were threatened by this NDA that they had to sign, they have a huge voice in the industry because they are singers, they are huge artists that have millions of fans, and they should have been like, look, this is what's going on here in this party, and this is who P. Diddy really is. And what they should have done, by the way, is not be afraid to speak up and, hire like more security guards around them in case if P. Diddy were to do something to the both of them, if they would have spoken up on what happened in these parties. But unfortunately, the whole scare got to Beyonce and it got to Jay-Z, that they kept their mouths shut, and now everybody is going after Jay-Z and Beyonce for not saying anything, that now they have lost so many followers on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook, I'm pretty sure. It's insane, So I personally believe that this right here is a really good example that we can't trust people, especially in the entertainment industry, especially people that are as huge as P. Diddy, because P. Diddy, he shows one face, but behind the scenes, now we can tell he's a different person. And I'm pretty sure that, by the way, he did so much to Justin Bieber, that Justin Bieber, by the way, I'm pretty sure is already super traumatized on what happened with him in the past, especially because he got to attend these parties. Okay, let's remember that. And what's even worse is that Justin Bieber was an underage artist when he got to attend these parties. Okay, so anywho, I really hope that P. Diddy gets to serve really good prison time. Okay, and by really good, I mean life sentence. Okay, because I heard that he is going to be serving 17 years in prison, but I believe that there are more charges to come for this dude. So with that being said, I believe that he should serve a life sentence after all. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Teddi Mellencamp. So Teddi Mellencamp is officially pulling the plug on her marriage because she's filed for divorce from her husband. Now the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum beelined it to court Friday and filed to divorce Edwin Arroyev after 13 years of marriage. So, okay. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Teddi lists October 20 as the date of separation, and she's going with the boilerplate irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. So it's interesting, Teddi was still wearing her wedding ring the day after filing for divorce. So Teddi and Edwin have 4 kids together, 12-year-old Slate, 10-year-old Cruz, and 4-year-old Dove. And she is seeking primary legal and physical custody, but is open to visitation for Edwin. Okay, so the reality TV star is also seeking spousal support, and she checked the box to block the court's ability to award Edwin spousal support. Okay, so this is insane what I'm hearing here. I can tell that things are getting pretty ugly in between Teddi Mellencamp and this dude that she is divorcing from. Because if this girl doesn't want any spousal support towards this man, then it must mean that Teddi Mellencamp really wants all of the money to herself, and that she doesn't want to have anything to do with this guy at all, period. And I completely understand that she wants all of the money to herself, because I mean, it's money that she worked her ass off for. But yet again, I'm already wondering what happened in between the both of them in order for them to get divorced. Because when you are divorced, and especially after a 13-year marriage, which by the way is a very long time, it must be because of something, man. Especially because we've seen so many photos of these two together having a really good time, cuddling and kissing, and now all of a sudden they are enemies. And what's really crazy of it all is that they share 4 kids together that are little kids, by the way, that still need them and that still want to be there for them, you know? Because these kids, I'm sure they are going to be crying, they're going to be missing their parents being together, they are going to be miserable basically, because it's not the same having to have a separated family after all. And what I also think is that I just can't imagine just how it's gonna be with these kids, just having to be with Teddy in one day and then having to be with the ex-husband the other day, Edwin Arroyo, by the way. I just can't imagine, you know, so that's another thing. That is another thing. But anyways, I believe that these irreconcilable differences that have not been specified, in my opinion, must be because the both of them did not have time for each other, because the both of them are really busy, or it could be because maybe there was cheating going on that these two don't want to reveal, because these two don't want to be spreading the drama after all. We never know. We never know. But anywho, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about J-Lo and Ben Affleck. So Linda Lopez visited Ben and Jennifer Garner's daughter Violet Affleck at college in New Haven, Connecticut, with Linda sharing a smiling selfie from the campus at Yale University with her hands on Violet's shoulders. Okay, so J-Lo's sister shared the photo along with the couple autumn-inspired photos of the campus on social media Sunday, captioning it, "New Haven with my favorite Yaley." Okay, so if that wasn't proof enough of the two families' still cozy relationship despite Ben and Jen's split, Linda added a blue heart emoji to her post. Okay, so Linda and Violet's hangout comes a little over 2 months after J-Lo filed for divorce. The split was definitely icy at first, but Ben and Jen seem to be in a better place, now at least professionally, praising each other's work. Alright, so that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's beautiful episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.